This is my how-to guide on how to use DraftSight, a free CAD program that I downloaded, and Google SketchUp Pro to create my project, which is my Dream Manshed. First off, you want to start by going to this site, which you can just search DraftSight and it'll come up to this. It's a free CAD software for all different types of computers, basically. And start here by clicking download for free. And it won't work right now, of course, but you go there, and then, or you can just do it right here, download. Comes for all operating system of Windows, Mac, and Linux. And Mac and Linux are currently in beta, but it's pretty great since it's free. And it does take some know-how, and currently I'm in a class for using CAD software to learn how to use all the operations and the commands to run this type of software. But once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. Basically, in this one, it's pretty simple because all you're really doing is drawing and offsetting lines. To draw a line, all you have to do is type in line, hit enter, and you can start by clicking somewhere and say your specified length, which you turn the ortho command on, so you can only draw vertical and horizontal lines. You can also turn snap on to where your cursor will only snap a certain amount of degrees each time. Right now, I think it's currently set at about 6 inches, maybe. So every time it moves, it'll be 6 inches. And I think it's actually down to 3. But that, allows you to get more accurate lines. And you can also specify, so like 10 or 12 would be 10 feet, 12 feet. And then you can start going up and across wherever you need to, highlighting it by clicking it, and then you can hit erase. And basically it's all ran by commands. You can go over here and start, using your different commands, and it'll put them in for you. But I prefer just typing it in. And that's the DraftSight part. It didn't take too long. There's a lot of tutorials for it online, which I'll have the links and everything posted to Google SketchUp's tutorials, and I did have to watch some of those. Most of this I've learned just by messing around, basically. You can use commands for this too, like L is line, and you can start drawing your line, and it kind of snaps to vertical and horizontal if you want it to, and you can again specify your length. And then erase would be E. You actually get a tape measure in this one to see how long everything is. And that's T. You can see how long your lines are without having to, just making sure, which this one is 9 foot and 2 inches because it's compensating for the wall and the roof, I guess, kind of. There's a little bit of gap, just not a flat roof, because in real life that would be very thin. And other commands are pretty basic. To move around like I am, you can go up here and see them. The one I'm using right now is this command right here, which I'm using a shortcut to use it, is why I can switch between them so fast. I'm using orbit, which you can see is the command is Apple B. Pan is to where it'll just go sideways up and down. And that one is Apple R. Zoom, I guess you can use those command or shortcuts for it. But I basically just use my mouse like I'm scrolling on the computer, like on a window or something, and it zooms in and out for you. And basically the only commands I really had to use to build this drawing again were your line command. You could use your square, but I tend to like to draw them as I'm going, just draw all 4 sides so I know it's right and not have to guess by using the rectangle. And the other main one is really push and pull. So where you can this wall mount on the TV is pretty easy. All I actually had to do was draw the square onto the wall, draw the 4 sides to the dimensions I wanted it, and then use the push and pull to pull it in and out. And then while you're doing this, you can actually type in the distance you want. So say I wanted 12 inches or whatever you wanted, and it'll go out to the distance you thought. Since I've messed that up, just Apple Undo, which is basically for all other programs, Apple Z, as it is up here, Apple Z, and then you can redo everything, and those are really the only commands I had to use to draw this. I wish I kind of would have spent more time in tiny details, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty good how it is. Probably should have used paint option, which I really haven't got all that figured out yet. For some of it I can do it any color I want, but for some parts it's really confusing and won't really go to the color I want it to. And then of course for that little clothes rack thing I have, you have to draw a circle, and you don't, when you try to draw it to a specific size, you have to go by the radius and not the diameter. So you either have to know your fractions from your inches, or you kind of have to just guess, really. I mean, it doesn't matter. I guess it's nothing really specific. But, and then for that again, I use the push and pull option, and it'll pull it out just like a cylinder. So I guess it's not too hard once you understand what you're doing. Erase that. And to actually walk around your models, which is pretty neat. I didn't know this was in it until I was messing around in the cameras, and it's down here at the bottom. And walk is your Apple comma, and then you can actually use your arrow keys to walk and turn around. The only thing I wish they would have set into this is that you could use your mouse to look around while you're doing this, but that's a whole different command, and it's the Apple period, Apple dot, Apple period, and then you have to use your mouse to look around. If they would have incorporated the two together, I think it'd be a lot better, but I guess you can't really complain. It's pretty neat that they thought about to put this in the first place. You can also hold down options, the option key, while you're doing this if you want to move around faster. The alt option, whatever you want to call it. And that is basically my how-to on how to do my DraftSight and SketchUp Pro Dream Shed thing room. And that is all, so thank you.